Welcome back to BNB Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issue that has shattered hearts, shaken loyalties, and pushed the boundaries of forgiveness in Los Angeles. A harrowing act of violence has stunned the Forrester family and turned the lives of Steffy and Finn upside down, as Luna, once a tormented soul seeking love and belonging, crossed a line she can never return from. This recent chain of explosive events has taken betrayal to new heights, and its consequences will leave lasting scars across the canvas of the bold and the beautiful. It all began when Luna, consumed by emotional turbulence and haunted by the rejection she endured from the man she longed to call father, made a dangerous decision. With her heart aching for a connection that had always been out of reach, Luna broke into Steffy's home once again, hoping to finally bridge the chasm between her and Finn. She believed, or perhaps desperately convinced herself, that if she could just make him understand the depth of her yearning, the emptiness she felt growing up without a father, he would find compassion within him to accept her. She wasn't there to threaten or manipulate. At least, not at first. Luna arrived at the Steffy home armed only with hope and a plea, to be seen, to be loved, and to be acknowledged by the man who shared her blood. But Finn was not moved. When he discovered Luna waiting for him, his reaction was immediate and unforgiving. Anger surged through him, not just because she had broken into his home, but because of the weight of everything that had already happened, the chaos, the violence, the fear she had instilled in Steffy and their children. Finn, emotionally exhausted and hardened by everything Luna had done, lashed out with words that sliced deeper than any weapon. He told Luna plainly, unequivocally, that she would never be family to him, not now, not ever. He made it clear that her past actions, especially her violent ones, had destroyed any possibility of a relationship. To Finn, she wasn't a daughter seeking redemption, she was a danger that had to be kept at bay. Those words were the final crack in Luna's fragile state of mind. Her dreams of having a family, of building something with Finn, shattered in an instant. And from that emotional wreckage rose something darker, desperation and rage. With trembling hands and a heart pounding from rejection, Luna reached into her handbag and pulled out a small pistol she had carried for weeks, a remnant of her deteriorating grip on reality. Her hand shook not from fear, but from fury. She believed that if she couldn't be part of Finn's life, then no one else should have him either. In a flash of anguish, Luna raised the weapon and pulled the trigger. Finn collapsed instantly, the gunshot echoing through the once tranquil Forrester home. Blood pooled around him as Luna stood over his body, stunned by what she had done. But instead of staying or calling for help, she turned and fled, disappearing into the shadows as quickly as she had come. For a few chilling moments, silence reigned, until Steffy returned home and was confronted with the unimaginable. The man she loved lay unconscious, gravely wounded, on the living room floor. Panic seized her entire body as she rushed to his side, checking for signs of life, her hands frantically dialing 911 as tears streamed down her face. Paramedics arrived swiftly, and thanks to Steffy's quick thinking, Finn was stabilized and rushed to the hospital, where a team of doctors fought to save him. As hours passed and the tension mounted, it became clear that while Finn's condition was critical, the bullet had missed his vital organs by mere centimeters. Through what could only be described as a miracle, Finn survived the attempt on his life. But the psychological wounds ran deeper. When he awoke, his first question wasn't about his health or his recovery, it was whether Luna had been caught. Steffy, consumed by rage and heartbreak, had already given Chief Baker her full statement, identifying Luna as the assailant. Baker didn't hesitate. With a warrant signed and the city on high alert, he issued an all-points bulletin for Luna's immediate arrest. Police across Los Angeles began their search, and roadblocks were set up to prevent Luna's escape. News of the shooting spread rapidly, shaking the Forrester, Logan, and Spencer families to their core. Even those who had previously sympathized with Luna's plight now viewed her through a very different lens. But Luna wasn't alone. Somehow, despite the chaos, she had managed to contact Remy. The mysterious ex-con who had once bonded with her over shared trauma now became her accomplice. Remy, fully aware of the severity of Luna's crime, understood the gravity of what he was about to do. But he did it anyway. He stole a car, drove through the backroads of California, and picked Luna up just hours after the shooting. Together, they devised a daring escape plan, using fake IDs and cash Remy had hidden from his time behind bars. They made their way south, weaving through back alleys and abandoned routes, eventually slipping across the border into Mexico undetected. While Luna vanished into the wind, the fallout in Los Angeles deepened. The hospital became a battleground for emotion as friends and family gathered to support Finn and Steffy. Ridge, barely holding himself together, blamed himself for not stepping in sooner. Brooke stood beside Steffy, trying to help her navigate the trauma of nearly losing her husband. Even Hope, who had her own battles to fight, found herself shaken by how close they all came to tragedy. And in the middle of it all was Finn, alive, but forever changed. The woman who had called him father had pulled the trigger with her own hands. The betrayal was personal, intimate, and irreversible. Though he survived the physical wound, the psychological damage was immense. He struggled with guilt, wondering if his rejection had pushed Luna too far, or if there had been a moment when he could have stopped her descent into madness. Meanwhile, back in Mexico, Luna began a new life in hiding. But it was no paradise. Haunted by nightmares and consumed by paranoia, she lived each day waiting for the knock on the door or the whisper of sirens in the distance. Remy, growing more disillusioned by the hour, started to question whether helping Luna had been the right choice. The weight of their crime loomed over them, threatening to crush whatever fragile connection they had left. Back in LA, Chief Baker made it clear the case was far from over. Luna was now a fugitive charged with attempted murder, unlawful possession of a firearm, and evading arrest. Baker vowed that no matter how far she ran, justice would catch up with her. And while the Forrester family tried to heal, the shadow of Luna's betrayal would remain long after the physical wounds had closed. This isn't just a story about a girl who lost her way. It's a cautionary tale about the consequences of unchecked emotion, the fragility of mental health, and the danger of silence. Luna's journey from neglected daughter to would-be killer has left a permanent mark on those around her, and as her story unfolds in exile, everyone in Los Angeles is left wondering, will she ever return, and if she does, what will she do next? Next? We will explore the captivating twists and turns awaiting Taylor Hayes on the bold and the beautiful as three shocking events loom on the horizon, propelling Steffy Forrester's mother into a position of unexpected power and resolve. From heartbreak to self-discovery, Taylor's journey promises to be a roller coaster of emotion, with surprising actions that could redefine her future. We'll also touch on the romantic entanglements pulling at the heartstrings of Brooke Logan and Ridge Forrester, and how these dynamics ripple through Taylor's world. Join us as we delve into the layers of drama, resilience, and potential new beginnings that are set to unfold in the coming weeks for one of Los Angeles's most beloved characters. Let's start with the emotional storm brewing around Taylor Hayes, a woman who has weathered countless heartaches, often at the hands of the same man. Ridge Forrester. Recent spoilers hint at three monumental events that will thrust Taylor into the spotlight, each one challenging her to take bold, unforeseen steps. For too long, Taylor has been caught in a cycle of longing and loss with Ridge, and now, as whispers of his rekindled feelings for Brooke Logan surface, she stands at a critical crossroads. In the coming episodes, viewers will witness Taylor grappling with a familiar pain, one that threatens to unravel her once more. Yet, this time feels different. There's a spark of defiance in her, a refusal to be cast aside as Ridge's second choice yet again. Will she summon the courage to end their tumultuous relationship on her own terms, or will she risk the sting of Ridge walking away first? Either way, the inevitable looms. Taylor must release Ridge from her heart, possibly forever, closing a chapter that has defined much of her life with both passion and sorrow. The backdrop to Taylor's personal reckoning is a steamy love triangle unfolding in the romantic landscapes of Italy, where Brooke finds herself torn between Ridge and the charismatic Nick Marone. Under the golden Tuscan sun, amidst cobblestone streets and vineyard vistas, Brooke's heart wavers, drawing Ridge back into her orbit with a magnetic pull that Taylor can't ignore. This development serves as a glaring neon sign for Taylor, illuminating the harsh truth she's dodged for years. Reuniting with Ridge was a misstep, a gamble on a man whose affections perpetually drift back to Brooke. The sting of this realization cuts deeper than ever, stirring memories of promises broken and dreams dashed. It's not just about losing Ridge again, it's about recognizing his inability to offer her the unwavering commitment she deserves. Spoilers suggest this could be the ultimate breaking point for Taylor, a moment where she finally sees Ridge for who he is. A man incapable of fully belonging to her. As the weight of this betrayal settles, Taylor might decide that enduring another round of public humiliation is a price she's no longer willing to pay. Yet, from the ashes of heartbreak, a stronger Taylor could emerge, one forged in the fires of past pain and ready to reclaim her life. The emotional turmoil inflicted by Ridge has, in the past, pushed Taylor to the brink, even sparking concerns of broken heart syndrome. A literal manifestation of her anguish. Ridge, in fleeting moments of guilt, has expressed a desire to aid in her healing, but this time, Taylor appears poised to take the reins herself. Spoilers tease a transformative arc where Taylor becomes the architect of her own recovery, piecing together the fragments of her shattered spirit with newfound determination. Imagine her sitting in her quiet office, surrounded by framed photos of happier times with Steffy and Thomas, reflecting on years spent chasing a love that never stayed. This could be the moment she resolves to rise above Ridge's influence, refusing to let his indecision drag her into despair again. Taylor might tap into a well of inner strength she's only glimpsed before, vowing to chart a course free from the ghosts of her romantic past. A path where her worth isn't tied to a man who can't choose her fully. This journey of self-empowerment could lead Taylor to prioritize herself in ways she hasn't in decades, echoing a rare but powerful pact she once made with Brooke to put personal growth over romantic entanglements. The coming weeks might see Taylor committing to this mindset with fierce resolve, determined to stick to it unlike before. After yet another bruising chapter with Ridge, she could choose to step back from the chaos of love triangles and focus on what truly matters, her family and her own rediscovery. Picture Taylor taking quiet evenings to journal her thoughts, rediscovering passions like painting or philanthropy that she sidelined amid romantic pursuits. This introspection could be a healing balm, allowing her to rebuild her identity outside the shadow of Ridge's indecision. Moreover, with Steffy facing her own turbulence due to Luna Nozawa's dangerous antics, Taylor's maternal instincts might kick into high gear. She could become a pillar of support for her daughter, offering a steady hand amidst the storm, reinforcing her role as a grounding force in the Forrester family. There's also a tantalizing possibility that Taylor might temporarily step away from the Los Angeles spotlight to recharge and refocus. With whispers that Steffy, played by Jacqueline McInnes Wood, might take a European hiatus during the actress's maternity leave, it's easy to envision Taylor accompanying her daughter on this soul-soothing getaway. Imagine mother and daughter strolling along the Seine in Paris, sharing heartfelt conversations over café au lait, or exploring quaint Italian villages to escape the drama of home. This time away could be exactly what Taylor needs to mend her wounded heart, surrounded by new sights and the unbreakable bond with Steffy. It would offer a chance to reflect on her next steps, away from the prying eyes of Forrester creations and the lingering echoes of Ridge's betrayal. Such a journey might plant the seeds for Taylor to envision a future where love isn't a battlefield, but a gentle, mutual discovery with someone untainted by past rivalries with Brooke. Ultimately, as Ridge chases after Brooke once more in Italy's romantic embrace, the door opens for Taylor to seek a new path to happiness, one that doesn't involve a man she's shared in a tug-of-war with her longtime rival. The spoilers hint at a hopeful horizon where Taylor feels ready to welcome love again, but this time with someone fresh, someone who sees her as the only choice. Could her perfect match still be out there, waiting in the wings of Los Angeles's bustling social scene, or perhaps in a chance encounter during her travels with Steffy? Picture Taylor at a charity gala months from now, catching the eye of a compassionate doctor or a worldly artist, someone who values her strength and depth without the baggage of past entanglements. This potential for a new romance offers a beacon of light after so much darkness, a chance for Taylor to rewrite her love story on her own terms. As these three shocking events unfold, they could collectively mark the dawn of a reinvigorated Taylor Hayes, one who commands her destiny with grace and grit. Next, we will unravel the complicated romantic entanglements surrounding Ridge Forrester, the most coveted bachelor on The Bold and the Beautiful. For nearly 4 decades, Ridge has been at the epicenter of a fierce rivalry between two of Los Angeles's most formidable women, Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan, yet his charming exterior hides a deeper flaw that makes him a risky bet for any heart. We'll dive into the messy dynamics of this enduring love triangle, expose Ridge's true nature beneath the allure, and ponder why neither woman seems ready to let go of a man who may never truly commit. Buckle up as we explore the drama, deception, and unrequited desires that continue to fuel this iconic soap opera saga. Let's start with Ridge Forrester himself, a man whose magnetism has made him the ultimate prize in the romantic landscape of The Bold and the Beautiful. With his chiseled features, commanding presence at Forrester Creations, and a reputation as a creative genius in fashion design, Ridge exudes an undeniable appeal that has women clamoring for his attention. Every glance, every whispered promise seems to cast a spell, positioning him as the most sought-after bachelor in town. Yet, beneath this glossy veneer lies a troubling truth: Ridge may be entirely wrong for any woman brave or foolish enough to fall for him. He revels in the adoration, soaking up the thrill of being desired as if it's his birthright. This isn't just confidence. It's a self-assured arrogance that he's the catch of the century, a belief bolstered by the decades-long battle between Taylor and Brooke. Their relentless pursuit has inflated Ridge's ego, convincing him he's untouchable, a trophy to be won rather than a partner to be trusted. As viewers, we see the cracks in this facade, questioning whether his charm is genuine or merely a mask for deeper insecurities. For nearly 40 years, the saga of Ridge, Brooke, and Taylor has been a cornerstone of drama, a love triangle woven into the very fabric of the show. These two powerhouse women have sparred tirelessly over Ridge, their rivalry a spectacle of passion and heartbreak that has defined much of their lives in Los Angeles. From tearful confrontations in the Forrester mansion to heated exchanges amidst Paris fashion shows, their battle for his affection has played out on a grand stage. And Ridge? He's not just a passive participant, he's actively encouraged this tug-of-war, driving on the chase and the chaos it brings. He's basked in the attention, allowing the competition to stroke his ego while never fully choosing one over the other for long. This has led Brooke and Taylor to view Ridge as the pinnacle of desirability, the ultimate man in a city brimming with eligible bachelors. It's as if they've convinced themselves that no one else could compare, blinding them to the reality that Ridge's indecision is less about their worth and more about his inability to settle. Their obsession paints Ridge as the only game in town, but whispers of Nick Marone's anticipated return to B&B have fans buzzing with hope that a fresh contender might finally shake up this tired dynamic. Now, let's peel back the layers of Ridge's supposed commitment, a word that seems foreign to his lexicon despite his protestations. Currently aligned with Taylor, Ridge professes dedication, claiming a level of devotion he's never truly shown in the past. Yet, even as he stands by Taylor's side, perhaps designing a new collection with her input or sharing quiet dinners overlooking the ocean, there's a flicker of distraction in his eyes. Brooke lingers in the recesses of his mind, a constant shadow over his promises to Taylor. Late at night, as Taylor sleeps beside him, Ridge might find his thoughts wandering to Brooke's laughter, her touch, the electric pull of their shared history. He imagined stolen moments, wishing he were tangled in Brooke's sheets instead of maintaining the facade of loyalty. Brooke, ever the seductive showstopper, ensures he can't forget her, dropping subtle hints and lingering glances whenever their paths cross at Forrester Creations or social galas. She keeps their past alive, fanning the flames of desire with every calculated smile, making it impossible for Ridge to fully close that chapter. His heart, though pledged to Taylor, seems tethered to Brooke with an invisible thread, revealing a man divided by his own restless longings. But here's the rub. Ridge isn't the right match for Brooke either, despite the undeniable chemistry that sparks between them. Whenever he's with Brooke, commitment becomes a fleeting illusion, a mirage that vanishes the moment emotions get too real. He keeps Taylor as a safety net, a backup plan simmering on the back burner for those inevitable moments when he grows restless or frustrated with Brooke. It's a cycle as old as their story. Passion with Brooke ignites, then flickers under the weight of conflict, prompting Ridge to retreat to Taylor's familiar comfort until the cycle resets. Consider their failed engagement, a glaring red flag in their tumultuous history. Ridge and Brooke were once poised to tie the knot, yet it never came to fruition. Why? Ridge offered flimsy excuses, no desire for a grand wedding, no interest in planning the event.